Hi, welcome to my channel, Divine Inspiration with Coley. Today I would love to share with you the topic of taking responsibility for our soul's journey, for our soul's lessons. In life, we have lessons that we chose to come here and experience before we were even conceived. Because as a soul, which we are, we want to grow. We want to grow into the greater knowing of who we are. And I know if you've watched my videos, you've heard me say this before. But this is very important because I want you to know that you have a part, because like the word says, faith without works is dead. So if you don't do your part, no one's gonna come and knock you over the head and say you gotta do your part. You just won't grow spiritually. But I really would like for you to understand that your soul is here with a great purpose. But you can't find out what that purpose is unless you learn to work out the emotional trauma or the emotional hurts and pains that are in your soul realm. Okay? Because the soul has collected a lot of the emotional traumas from your emotional experiences that you've had, because these are the things that have to be overcome. So if you look at most people, you'll notice that they're trying to work out things or deal with things that come from their emotional childhood, from their emotional experiences of their childhood, and so what I want to share with you is some of my experiences. When I was 11 years old, I was molested, okay? Yes, that person had issues, but his issues were not my issues. The reason why that experience took place was because I had to choose to love and accept myself unconditionally, no matter what. I had to choose to forgive. And I'm not so much saying forgive that person, but forgive as in forgive myself. Not that I did anything wrong, but that I had to forgive myself for holding myself in that bondage of that emotional hurt, in that emotional pain, So I had to choose to love and accept myself. I had to choose to forgive myself. And as I was able to do that, then God was able to come into that area and help me to overcome. Because God says, in your weakness, I am strong. So in order for me to see the strength of God within me, I had to open up my heart. And in that place where my heart was stony, where it was hard, then when I chose to love and accept myself and chose to forgive myself, that softened the heart. And as the heart softened, the love of God is able to go in there and penetrate that place. And God is able to set the captives free. Because like the word says, where the Spirit is, the captives are set free and there is liberty. Okay, so the freedom is here, just as bondage is here as well. And so God comes forth and sets the captives free in us. And I want to share something else with you as well. This experience here, it has to do with my mother. And I am grateful to my mother that she was used as a tool to help me to grow spiritually. Even though she may not have understood what was taking place, I am still thankful that she was that tool, because if it were anyone else, it would not have affected me the same way. Okay? And it would not have, I probably would not have been able to grow. Okay, so with this experience, it was many years ago, and I was at home and I was working. And as I was working, I was supposed to be going to a ministry, and I had a ride coming to pick me up. And my ride came and I was not ready because I was still working, and I was saying, oh my goodness, it's just taking me entirely too long to be doing this, and I should have already been done. So I walked outside and I told my ride that I wasn't going to be able to make it this week because I was still working. And so my ride, she pulled off, and as she pulled off and I began to walk in the house, I saw my mother pull around the corner. Now, it made me feel some kind of way because I had seen my mother every day for the past week, and every time she left, I felt broken and I felt beat down. But I said, okay, Father, whatever it is that you're doing, I am in agreement. And so I walked out to my mom's car and I greeted her and we walked into the house. And I finished my client and then I sat and I talked with my mother. And my mother was speaking, and everything that she said, I felt like I was beat down. I felt like I just felt beat down. And so I can remember her saying, I'm proud of this daughter. And I'm proud of that daughter because she did this. And I'm proud of my son because he's done this. And I'm proud of you because you've done this. But in my mind, I hear, she said, you last, because she doesn't think as highly of you as she does the rest. And so I felt even more broken. And so as the night went on and Mom was ready to go, I walked her out to her car. And Mom, she was still talking. And as she continued to talk, I continued to hear the voices in my head. And I continued to feel beat up. And so I gave Mom a hug and a kiss goodbye, and then I turned to walk back into the house. And as I started to walk into the house, I heard the Spirit of God say, she doesn't know that the things that she says to you make you feel this way. She doesn't know that the things that she says to you make you feel this way. And I continued to hear that. And I walked into the house and I went into my room and I got at the foot of my bed and I was on my knees and I said, Father, you have to tell me why I feel like this. I don't want to feel like this. And then I heard, it's depression and suppression. The depression comes to suppress you so that you do not know who you are. And I said, okay. And I spoke to that depression. And I said, depression, you will no longer dictate to me. I command you to shut up. I take my dominion back here. I will no longer give in to you. And then I spoke to suppression and I said the same thing. And then I said, Father, love me here. Heal my heart. Save me here. I surrender. And then I laid across the bed and I felt a release. And that next week, my ride came and we went to ministry and the minister says, come here. And when I went to the front, he says, God said that you're no longer bound by depression and suppression. I have been released, but I seen the enemy that was in me. If we never recognize the enemy that is within us, then we can never be set free in that area. Okay, so what I mean when I'm saying taking responsibility for our soul's lessons, we have to realize that the enemy is within us. It's not within the next person. No matter what it is that they may have done, we have to take responsibility for the emotional bondage that we hold ourselves in. We have to choose to let go of the hurt and of the pain. We have to choose to move forward. I want you to know that you are not that child that was molested, that little boy or that little girl. You are not that woman or that man that was raped. You are not that child that was abandoned. You are not that child that was neglected. You are not any of the things that you experienced. They were just experiences so that your soul can one day learn and grow into the knowing of who it is Because that's why we came forth, is to learn to know who we are. We are that light that wants to shine forth. You are not the hurts of the past. You are not who you are because of the experiences that you've had. You are the light that is hidden behind all of the darkness that the soul has collected over time. But you have to find your way through. So you have to do the works, because faith without works is dead. That means you have a work to do. You have to do your part. You have to choose to love you and accept yourself in each and every area. You have to choose to forgive yourself in each and every area for holding on to the hurt. You have to be able to allow yourself to be set free, because God wants to come into that area of your heart and your mind, and God wants to release you from that hurt and that pain. But you have to see that it is you that's been holding on to it, and that you can choose to love yourself no matter what. You can love yourself through any situation. You can love yourself through anything you have experienced. We have to stop looking for love outside of who we are and look for that love within. So many times we want to go out and we want to find different ones to love us in these areas where we feel hurt and broken and we feel neglected. But nobody can feel that void, because that heart in those areas is so rock hard that nothing can penetrate, because you won't even allow the love of God to penetrate it. So how do you expect anyone else to penetrate it? Because if you don't, you will continue to suffer. You will continue to hurt. You will continue down this road of agony because of the emotional experiences that you have had. And these emotional experiences, you allow them to dictate to you who you are. And it is not who you are. It's an illusion of who you think you are. But you have to do the works. You have to, because if you don't, you will never see the greatness that dwells within you. You will never live the life that you were supposed to live, the life that you came here to live. You will never be able to live out your purpose if you are always in a place of being broken. If you're always in a place of being damaged. If you don't decide to do the work, you will never be able to live. You will never be able to wake up into that place of Christ consciousness, into that awakened state of mind where you can truly know who you are. I am so grateful that you allow me to come and spend this time with you and be able to share my life with you. If you feel that this video would be beneficial for anyone, then please share this video with them. I look forward to being able to share more of my life experiences with you. And until then, do the work. Learn to love yourself. Choose to love yourself. Choose to forgive. Allow the Spirit of God to get in to that heart and heal that heart. Do your part. I thank you once again. You have been here with me on my channel, Divine Inspiration with Coley. I look forward to many, many more days spending time with you. Thank you.